Hey, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Congrats on this.
Thank you very much.
I don't want to screw this up. Joseph Jason Namakoha Momoa.
Almost.
Oh, nuts! What did I get wrong?
Namakaeha.
Namakaeha. And what does it mean?
Kind of like four visions, so kind of like seeing beyond what's in front of you, four times, so it's kind of a all-seeing eye kind of thing.
Well, that's kind of prophetic.
Yeah.
So in this movie, we see you as a little kid, and during that moment, I'm thinking, wow, I wish I could find out what the dialogue would be like if you went back to the 8-year-old you. What would you tell him about this life you're having?
I'm gonna watch my baby boy, who's 10, next to me, and my daughter. So it's gonna be, I haven't seen it yet, and it's gonna be unbelievable just to hold their hands because they were there with me. But I couldn't imagine being 8-year-olds and seeing this and being Hawaiian and seeing something like that. I mean, I would be like next level.
Right.
Yeah, man. I don't know really what to expect, but just looking in kids' eyes, that's gonna be pretty special.
I noticed that you're taking great joy on that level from this movie quite a bit. Like last night, before the screening, a little kid ran up to you. For all I know, he was shooting for TMZ, but he was like 5 years old, and he ran up down there at the front.
Yeah.
And you made it a point to stop, ignore everybody else in the room for a moment, and focus on that kid. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. But I mean, I love kids. I mean, this is all for them too, so.
And, you know, I'm a middle-aged man, and watching this movie makes me feel like I'm a kid again, too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great news.
Is there a moment making this movie that you felt like a kid again? The absolute play joy?
Yeah, I think the whole time, I think James really intended for that. I mean, he is very, have you had a chance to talk to James yet?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, he's very passionate. He's very, like, excited about building this world. So, I mean, like, from the get-go, he's just really sets this beautiful canvas and safety net to jump in and experiment and play and be playful within the world. So
I put it out on Facebook just moments ago to ask you some questions, and overwhelmingly people are asking the typical, do you do your own stunts?
I'm not.
What?
Surprisingly, this is the first thing I've ever done. Like JL, I did all my own stunts.
Sure.
There's so much. There's 15, 20 times as many stunts in this. There's so much action that we'd have to be prepping Sicily while we're doing the gladiator fight or the end fight. So there's an action. There was a stuntman ahead of us,
right?
And then there's someone on set with me all the time. But you can't do it all. If it's on a wide shot, you can't see me. I'm like, if I get injured, it's just there's so much. So I've never had another guy move for me until this movie. So I mean, 65% of the stuff, but anytime I'm going through a wall and getting the crap beat out of me, insurance-wise, you just can't.
I don't blame you.
I get my butt kicked the whole movie, so that's generally, maybe I'll say 60% of the stunts I do. Maybe.
Right, we got to have you for some more movies. Yeah. All right, rapid round of questions. True or false, you once moved to Paris to paint pastel paintings?
No, it's totally, Wikipedia sucks.
Okay, so then you did not live with Tibetan monks?
No, no.
All right. You didn't take your dreadlocks off because they gave you headaches at one point?
Nope.
You love Aquaman and think it's one of the best movies ever made?
Yep.
I just needed something positive. Does it freak you out at all? Like, because I'm sure you were watching like the rest of us Entourage, where Aquaman was this whole fictitious byline of that.
Never saw it.
Clueless to that.
Yep.
All right.
I'm sorry.
What's the best thing about being you right now?
Oh, yeah, man. You know, I'm going to be doing SNL this week.
Amen, brother.
Cheers,
Can't
man.
wait. Good to see you again. Nice to see you.
Really nice to see you too.
Nice work in this.
Thank you.
So what's going through your head after the months, the weeks, everything it took to prepare for this, and then last night you're on the biggest screen in North America about to appear for everyone?
You know, that thought occurred to me after, when I was in the car and someone reminded me that my face was, me was going to be on the biggest screen in North America, and I thought, should I be more nervous about this?
Right.
But it's exciting. It's so exciting to be a part of this movie. People are so excited about it. People are loving it. It makes me really excited because I loved it, and I love what our movie says. I love how it says it. I love what we are able to do and accomplish in this film, and how many things we're able to incorporate.
Right.
And the kind of character that we can create, the kind of characters we all actually are playing, are important characters for people to see. In my case, Mira is an important, badass, fierce, empowered, strong character, a strong superhero in her own right.
Yeah.
Who also happens to be a woman. Thank you. We need more of them. We need a lot more of them, and I'm really happy that I can play a character that will be a small part of hopefully a bigger change.
Amen. And you know, someone said, I was so mad they brought it up last night because I wanted to bring it up now. This needs to be a movie. She needs to be a movie.
Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. I agree.
Write that down, Warner Brothers. Someone listening right now, make that happen.
Exactly. I think, but it's so cool to see how many people are saying this. How many people sit here in this and say this to me, come up to me and say exactly that to me. And I think it's funny because to me that's exciting because I love the character. I think we need a lot more of them out there, like meaning more female superheroes out there in general. But also it's exciting because it's indicative to me of a bigger change and change in attitude that is encouraging.
You know, enough about Jason Momoa. I wanted to ask you, since you're going down this line, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, you have that ribbon on. I'm a huge supporter. Hashtag Hear Me Too.
Hear Me Too.
Tell us about it.
I think it's all about representation and awareness. We will not be aware. We can't be aware of the trouble. We can't be aware of who we're hurting or to whom we're, you know, our system is affecting negatively. We won't be able to know and break down these systems that are unfair and unjust unless we see them. And presence and awareness is everything. It starts conversations, and conversations start social changes. They change attitudes. Attitude changes affect action, and action eventually breaks down and creates a kind of change that we all would need to live in, that we all live in, and that we all are seeking to live in. And in my case, what I'm saying is a fairer world, a more equal world, one where we don't need to wear a ribbon to remind people that we need to eliminate violence against women globally. It's an international cry. It's an international, global, universal problem that affects everyone, every community. No one is immune, and yet we're not talking about it enough. So I wear orange because I believe in human rights. I believe in women's rights, and yes, Hear Me Too.
Preach on. You should run for office. I would vote for you. And we'll talk about that Jason Momoa when he supports you in your movie.
Exactly.
Right,
exactly.
Hey, good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you.
People always, ask me about. I've been interviewing celebrities for a quarter century, but you're the very first celebrity I ever kind of was in the presence of, and I did the right thing. I was polite. You were with your son at the Bronx Zoo, and he was very little at the time, so he kind of dates it. And I just gave you your distance. So you were number
that's
uno.
Crazy.
A quarter
that's
century
crazy. Yeah, Bronx Zoo was an important place for me and my kid when he was growing up. Crazy. You a New Yorker?
At that time, I was living in New York, working for Comedy Central.
So
I'm thinking about your career. You've pretty much done it all. Sometimes a couple times now in your film career.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to do a range of things. Yeah, and it still goes on. So I'm happy. Lately, I've been able to mix things up, like do an Aquaman next to something like At Eternity's Gate.
Yes.
This movie where I play Van Gogh.
Yeah, there are two things I would bid on eBay. One, your outfit from this, and two, one of those paintings, because I know you painted in real time when you played Van Gogh, which is bananas.
Yeah,
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, and my costume in this, beautiful. When my wife saw it, she said, "Oh man, you look so cool." That's a good barometer of something.
I'm thinking about it. In your career, I have never seen you not look cool. And even out on the streets, you look.
I think
cool.
You've missed some of my movies. I've made quite a few, but I don't expect anyone to see them all.
Florida Project Motel Manager, maybe not as cool as the others, but still.
Cool character, but he didn't have much style.
I am a good sense of bullshit joy and genuine joy.
Okay.
And when I saw you down in front of the audience last night, I could tell that you were just you loved this product.
Well, I do. I mean, it was nice seeing everyone. I've been working and to hook up with them yesterday and be in front of that enthusiastic crowd was cool. And that huge screen. Because the screening we were at was a big IMAX screen, so it was very cool. Yeah, and a great way to see this movie.
No kidding. We should all be so lucky to see it on a screen like that, because there's no aspect of this. There's no pixel without detail in it.
It's true. It's true.
Do you have a favorite moment?
Selfishly for me, I mean, I like the sequences where I'm teaching him things like how to swim and how to fight and things like that.
Right.
That was the most fun for me.
Is it odd looking at, and I've asked other actors, with this modern technology and the ability, is it odd to look at yourself like that?
Well, it's odd, like there's a flashback sequence, and I look younger than I look now because it's a flashback sequence. So they did something.
Right. The nice thing about it is that when you're younger, like, this is not bullshit. I'm not just pandering to you because you're in front of me now. But you look great, right?
Oh, good.
I've seen it done with other actors, and you go, oh, yeah, that's what they used to look like. You still look the same.
Yeah, no, they didn't have to do too much scrubbing, but I think someone in a post-production house somewhere was taking out some lines that I do have, yeah.
Well, congratulations on a great year. This movie is going to bring much joy, and At Eternity's Gate is just brilliant.
Oh, nice, thanks so much. Yeah.
Aquaman was a huge part of my childhood, and you did not F it up. It is amazing.
Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. Good. Very good to hear.
This movie, when we see the flashback scenes and we see Jason as a young boy, I'm thinking, wow, I'm watching this movie. I feel like that. I feel like I'm a kid again watching this movie.
Well, I mean, that really was what I wanted to capture. I wanted to capture that feeling, of what it was like when you were a kid, and looking up at sort of superhero movies like this. I remember what it was like, watching Christopher Reeve's take off for the first time in Superman, right? And that sort of wish fulfillment quality was something I really wanted this movie to have. That sense of wonderment.
What Spielberg was to my childhood, you pretty much represent in my adult life. All my favorite movies you're bringing. The Conjuring series, specifically Conjuring 2, one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm wondering if you look at the budget of that, like a movie where that other guy is saying, yeah, try to keep it down about $1 million. What's the difference between, and what's the same about making a movie at that level as opposed to Warner Brothers saying, spend billions, whatever it takes?
Well, it wasn't billions, first and foremost. Let me clarify that.
All right.
This is what I say to that is, it kind of doesn't really matter for me, what genre I make my movies in or what scale my movies are made in. Storytelling, at the end of the day, is storytelling.
Yeah, no kidding. That guy and his Twitter. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So we were just talking about our mutual friend Joe Carnahan.
Yes, follow him on Twitter. Get a good laugh.
Wait, if you follow him on Twitter, by friends I mean acquaintances.
That's right.
So what did you learn in Stretch that you applied to Aquaman?
Yes, old Stretch. Man, I don't know.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Moving
Nothing
on.
at all.
Moving on. Check the gate. I haven't talked to a single actor that likes watching themselves on screen. They go, oh, they use that take, or I should have hit that mark, or the lighting.
But
with this, to look at it and go, oh, like you said, so that's what I did.
Yeah.
What's the scene that surprised you the most?
It's usually normal scenes of, and I say normal, not huge stunt scenes, just scenes where you're literally like this, where you're just talking and flying around the room, acting like you're swimming. That's what I like to watch and go, okay, it looks good, we pulled it off.
Hey, I hope you guys enjoy.
You want to see more? I know you do.
So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And turn on your notification button and click this thing right here to see more videos.
Stop doing that with your fingers.
It likes when I do this.
No,
Just
stop
like.
it. No.
Just click on it. Don't do all that. Don't do all that.
Just watch our videos.
Mike, make him stop. Turn him off.